I
So
can see $1.1 million, right?
yeah, $1.1 million. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So,
Yep.
okay, let's talk about this then. Interesting. So AOV, so let's talk about from the numbers, but what I can see right now is $220 AOV. That means you're selling a high ticket item.
High ticket.
And now I can see you have a return rate of 16.6%. That's amazing. The conversion rate is low. Maybe it's just because, yeah. Maybe
Conversion rate is
because
low, more so because of the price range, because it's high ticket. A lot of people, and that's what I'm playing with right now. Is I'm learning how to structure offers differently and get those conversion rates up, basically.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about this store. Can we see this? How this store looks like?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go to that right now. Yeah, so this is the watch brand.
Ah, nice.
And we're evolving, you know, all the time. We're going to be introducing an apparel line, and basically we're looking to just go really hard this year and start scaling. Last year was more of it was more of like how to figure out how to run the business more efficiently after we got hit by the, you know, the post iOS updates on Facebook. But that's not to say that, you know, Facebook is a great place to scale, and we're actually probably going to go start, you know, dabbling with Facebook again this year.
Perfect. So, okay, I can see the couple of cool stuff. So we can talk about everything. So first of all, watches. So how much you are selling your watches for?
Anywhere from, you know, $300 to $1,800. Like I can even show you. We have some really high ticket watches here. This one is on pre-order is $1,450. So the retail price is $1,750.
And this is all pre-order. That means you're taking orders upfront. Like you're not delivering the orders right away.
With the watch business, right? It's very cash intensive. Not only is it very cash intensive, but it's also really heavily reliant on what's it called? The design, the manufacturing, and the time it takes from the initial concept to the hands in the customer is almost an 8-9 month process. So what happens with this is that you pretty much have to do pre-orders for the most part. So yeah, we do pre-orders on a lot of our watches that are new, that are in development, and that's kind of how we test our concepts as well.
So how soon people get their product after pre-ordering?
So after pre-order, it's generally a 3-month wait time, because
and they're completely fine with it.
Yeah, they're fine with it. They're fine with it. In fact, there's some brands that are doing almost like a 6-month wait time to a year.
So basically more exclusivity just because it's like they have to wait.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. And people love the exclusivity. They love feeling special and VIP. So that's one of the reasons we're able to do it.
Okay. So, okay, let's go back to the homepage. I saw something which I think a lot of people would be interested to see. No, just go to the website and just click on back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. January 8 battle just sold out. What's that?
Yeah. So basically what I did in the past weekend is I can even show you on my screen. I did about a $10,000 revenue in about a 24-hour period. So what I was doing was I was
$10,000. Okay. Let me repeat. $10,000 in one day.
Yeah. So basically one day, it was Saturday and Sunday, but it was done in a 24-hour period. So I can go ahead and show you that actually. Let's go over here. Hold on, let me just, you can edit the video, right? You can edit this.
Yeah.
Okay. 7th and 8th. So you can see right here, we did $10,000. And what I was doing was, so like I told you earlier, is that here we're testing new offers. Okay, so what I'm learning, and this is always a learning experience as obviously as a DTC brand owner, is how can you increase those conversion rates? How can you get more people buying? So basically what we did was we did something called a battle chest. Now the battle chest makes things look more fun from the customer's perspective, almost like they're playing a video game and they're unlocking loot. And so what I did to do this, I kind of like went into the psyche of my customer base. And a lot of them like Vikings and all this stuff. So they also happen to play video games like Skyrim. They play video games like Elder Scrolls. So that being said, what we decided to do is we decided to do something called a battle chest. It's basically the same products that we've been selling, but bundled together and angled almost like as if they're going to go hunting for loot in a video game. And we did a very like limited edition drop. I did the whole hype drop method for this. I only left the store open for 48 hours and I put timers and everything, and we were able to sell it. Now the thing is, I have the store open right now just because we're doing some we're going to be sending out some emails today, and we're going to be doing some Facebook ad approvals and whatnot. Otherwise, my store remains locked most of the time, password locked.
So basically people cannot buy it.
Yeah. So we make it as exclusive as possible, and we force people to basically enter their emails.
Perfect. Okay. So I already know what you do. You basically create hype and then basically, gather an email list and then you do a drop. So to all those guys who are actually watching this, let's take an example. Let's try to figure out what exactly you're trying to do so that everyone can understand. Okay. So let's suppose I'm coming up with a clothing line.
Correct.
And I'm coming up with a clothing line. Let's suppose it's about dogs, dog owners, and which has a message. So whosoever buy the t-shirt, we actually, put that into dog rescue or whatever. So we have this story with us. How I can use the drop method for that kind of a clothing business?
Well, so if I were to do that, and to be honest with you, I'm also starting 2 more clothing businesses, so we'll be able to even document that in the future. But the clothing business is probably one of the best and the easiest, especially to be highly profitable and to do the hype drop method. In fact, everything I do for my watch brand, I've kind of learned from clothing brands. Okay, so what I would do is I would basically get a design made, get a mock-up made, create an Instagram, very simple, straightforward, create an Instagram, put up my mock-ups on that Instagram, start running engagement ads, have my website, have a very simple, clean website. And you know what, let's go ahead and show you guys an example as well.
Amazing. So let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll show you exactly what you can do. So this is how you would set up your website, just exactly like this. You'd have your name of your brand right here. You'd have a countdown timer and an email box, nothing else. Now you don't even need the shipping status. Now what you're going to do is
basically people cannot even see like what my website will have.
Exactly. And this plays on the psychology. People want what they cannot have. Simple. And this is why this method works so well. So all you're going to do is you're going to have your mockups. You're going to put them on your Instagram. You're going to run engagement ads. You could even run conversion ads on Facebook. Now, if you don't want to have a ad budget, which I always recommend, you should have some sort of ad budget. I don't like paid ads that much, but to be honest with you, the best way to scale is going to be paid ads when you start generating revenue. Now, if you don't have a budget, what you're going to do is you're going to start creating organic content around your t-shirts. So you would get someone on your team. Maybe you can even hire someone just to do UGC ads for you or UGC content. And you'd start posting on TikTok organic. You'd post on Instagram Reels. You'd post on YouTube Shorts. And you drive all that organic traffic to this landing page. Okay. And simple. You start collecting emails. Emails go into your system. Then they go into Klaviyo. Okay. In Klaviyo, you're going to keep warming them up. So once they enter their email, you don't let people go. The biggest mistake people make is they collect the emails and they just stay put and quiet. Now, if you really want a good deliverability rate for your drop, when you do drop your products, you need to make sure you put the emails through some sort of flows. Okay. So what a flow is going to do is it's basically when the email enters, you're going to send a welcome email. 3 days later, you're going to send another email talking about your brand. 5 days later, talking about something else. Then you start hyping them up. Okay. You start hyping them up. Then around 2 weeks later, you can do your hype drop. You can drop this product. You get your orders on the shirts. You get the pre-orders, send it to the manufacturers, and you deliver. And all of this didn't require pretty much very minimal ad spend or upfront investment, which is great. For all I know, a lot of people are in the e-commerce space are looking to start some sort of business, and I would say this model is probably one of the best.
So basically, if you're saying, so let's talk about a couple of lingos which you have used, words, because a lot of people won't be able to understand that.
Right.
First one is obviously Klaviyo. I don't know what is Klaviyo, but let's talk about what's Klaviyo first.
So Klaviyo is one of the best, I would say, email marketing platforms made for Shopify. Okay, now there's lots of email marketing systems being launched, and I could recommend many others. There's another one called EmailWish, which is more simple and straightforward. It's a newer application, but Klaviyo for now is the most advanced system where you could do segmentation, you could do behavior targeting, you can do so many different things with your email list. Before, people used to be using MailChimp, but honestly, MailChimp has kind of lost its drive. Many people are switching from MailChimp over to Klaviyo. There's just so many more features. And I would recommend anyone basically who's looking to do email marketing to get really familiar with Klaviyo and possibly EmailWish or even OmniSend.
OmniSend. Yeah, I remember I have used that. So basically, okay, Klaviyo is basically your email marketing tool, which will help you to send emails and do automation and do all those kind of good stuff so that you're telling your customers that, okay, this is coming and we're launching this, and you're keeping them engaged until you do the drop.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And drop is basically where actually you're releasing or you're letting the customers to see those products which we were designing at the back end.
Correct.
And then you let them buy that, right?
Exactly. And when you do a drop, generally, you want to do things as exclusive as possible. That means that when you open the site for purchase, you're going to send your customers a password. They're going to use the password to enter. You know, you make it seem like a VIP, almost like a VIP access.
So it's basically like an unlock, right?
Unlock, correct. And people love that. People love this kind of stuff. You know, you might be thinking that, oh, it's going to make it more difficult for their process, but people like to feel special, you know. So when you give them the password, they take the password, they enter the website. And generally when we do a drop, we will only leave the website open for about 48 hours. So 24 hours, we'll send an early access email. Then 24 hours later, we'll send it to everybody else. And we just try to really maximize the revenue. So I can show you when I did this, you know, we can even go to my Klaviyo account. By the way, are you able to see my screen and me, or how's this working?
Yeah. I can see the main screen as this Insidious Studios, and we are on the right hand side. Okay. I think the recording gonna be like the same, I guess.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the Klaviyo account. Let me go ahead and log into this one.
Perfect. Okay, people can see numbers now. Amazing. Revenue from Klaviyo, I can see. Is it 200 million? Not 200 million. It's like $200,000.
This is 4 million for another brand that I've been working for.
Okay, so basically you work for other brands as well?
Yeah. So I will do like the email marketing for other brands, and I'll do drops and whatnot. So pretty much people just come and hire me out to do their drops as well.
Okay, we're gonna put your information so that people can reach out to you. Maybe a couple of D2C owners are looking into it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do over here is I'm gonna go ahead and show you basically how we did the last 2 days, $10,000, and how important it is, you know, when you do a drop. So this drop was more of a testing ground for me. I wanted to test out this offer, the battle chest. If I had prepared correctly, I would have started 2 weeks ago or even a week ago. Okay. And generally what you want to do before you start a drop, you want to start sending invites, VIP invites, segmenting your list. I know this is a lot of lingo for a lot of people, but we'll expand on it later. But when you do the drop, you can see how many emails I actually sent. This is all in the span of 48 hours. Okay. I've sent this many emails: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you can see each one is pumping out some sort of revenue. Okay. What I've done is I don't keep sending the same email to the same part of my email list. I will lifetime, I will go inside and I will segment my list. I will send, you know, based on behavior, based on if they clicked or they opened or they purchased, then I'll send each one of those different messages and different emails until we literally just maximize as much revenue as possible. Now, one thing I have to say, this drop, first of all, we didn't plan for it. Number two, it's very high ticket items, okay? Items that are really expensive. And number three, part of the items in this drop aren't shipping until May, okay? So there's a lot of things here that, you know, probably kept it in the $10,000 framework, but we're gonna be doing more drops in the next coming weeks on apparel, and we're gonna see how that goes as well.
So bro, do you believe like in the clothing? Obviously, the clothing products are usually low tickets, right? As compared to what you are trying to sell. So if a beginner is starting it up, what should be the ideal like budget he should keep in his mind for obviously, email market, like not for email marketing, but getting those email leads, and how much revenue he can actually expect from that?
You
Any
know,
idea on that part?
so with clothing brands, I don't know how to say this, but I think clothing brands is one of the best things you could get into when you're starting a business, a DTC business. Okay. First of all, the startup costs are really low. Number two, if you find a good manufacturer, you don't have to worry about giant MOQs, minimum order quantities. Number three, the time it takes from your initial design or concept to the final prototype is probably like once you give the manufacturer the design, he can give you a sample in 3 to 7 days. Okay, which is a totally different ballgame from the watch business. Okay, so when you're doing a clothing brand, I would always budget. Personally, I would budget for around $1,000 to $2,000. This might sound high for some people, but the reason I say this is because you do want to have some sort of content creation. You have to understand, you're not going to get leads with just very simple pictures and throwing it up on a social media account and hoping people find you. You have to create proper content with your product. Small, you got to create reels, you got to create TikTok shorts, TikToks, you got to create YouTube shorts. And all of this does require some sort of investment, unless the brand owner, him or herself, is a really good content creator, is willing to put on their shirts and willing to create the content themselves. Maybe I'll budget, $300 to $800.
Got it. So, okay. So this Insidious guys, how much they have done?
Okay, well, so Indigo Studios over here, these guys do $900,000 in a 24-hour time period.
$900,000?
Yeah, $900,000. So they have an email list of about 100,000 emails. Okay, all of their revenue on the day of a drop comes from Klaviyo, SMS, and Discord. Okay, and then they're going to
so they have a Discord community as well.
They have a Discord community as well, and that's what it's very important today as a brand, especially if you're going to be a clothing brand. You need to build your email list. Number one, number two, SMS, and number three, Discord.
And what about those guys? Like maybe this, I'm not sure about this Indigo Studios. What kind of niche they are? Like young or like people over 40 or 50? So do you think like even for people over 40 and 50, is Discord is the way, or maybe Facebook group?
Facebook group. So for my business, we have a Facebook group, and we don't use Discord for us because our age range is around 30 to 60 years old. So Discord is
basically
better. Discord is better for 35 and under.
Basically, young people gonna be like under Discord, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, so any other examples have you seen in this industry, like doing airdrops?
I mean, there's tons. I can even show you. Let's see, sixshot.com. These guys do about 200. I would say about. You can see everybody's done this password block, right?
Exactly the same strategy.
Exactly the same strategy. 300. These guys do $300,000 a drop. There was another one I just showed today in our Discord. These guys did $80,000 the past weekend on a drop. And you can see everybody is doing the same business model for clothing because it works. Okay.
And is it a new thing or it's a very old stuff? Like, is it new?
The truth of the matter is that this is a business model that has been used by the biggest brands for ages. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, but just the way they do it is a different matter, right? This is the new age way to do it. And all smaller brands, if they want to do it, this is the best possible way to do it. Okay.
Basically least expensive. Like you don't have to spend a lot of,
least expensive. You have control over your inventory. You control your destiny. You keep your demand high and your and the supply low. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about having overstock inventory for the most part, right? But I do have to make a caveat here. You have to make sure your designs and your brand and your product market fit are on point. That means it has to be really good. Like, don't expect to do this with just any regular print on demand t-shirt. That means that you could do print on demand, but you have to put lots of thought into your design and lots of thought into your target audience. Okay.
Mm.
It's not going to work if you're just going to just say, I want to get rich quick and just print any design on a t-shirt and, go for it.
Basically work on your designs. That's the most important thing, right?
Designs and community. Designs and
Community.
community. If you build a brand around a very passionate community that you can turn into a lifestyle brand, that is your ticket to becoming rich. That is your ticket. So that's I would say focus on the community first, then go work backwards, and then start focusing on designs made for that community.
Got it. Got it. Perfect. So, okay. So now we know it. If we have to build up any clothing brand or any brand, we can use this drop method. We can use Klaviyo. We can use organic content or maybe paid ads to drive the email list and SMS numbers. And once that's done, you do a drop. So you do a drop every single month, or you do a drop every single, like maybe after 15 days. How you do it?
So my watch brand initially, when I started it, I was doing the basic pay the Facebook ads and just sell on a daily basis. However, like I said, the Facebook ads kind of stopped working at some point. It was getting very expensive. And to be honest with you, it's not only Facebook ads' fault. It was even our offer, the way we were angling our offers and all these things. These are just the realities of it. So after that, I did switch to this drop model. And for the watches, we only do like, if we're doing a new watch, we do a drop maybe once every 3 to 6 months. Why? Because with watches, it's a very long process, Clothing brands, however, you could literally do twice a month, once a month, twice a month. It's really up to you. I see most of these brands, Indigo Studios and all these other ones, they do about once a month.
Okay, so I see this, the same model was used by the Fifth Avenue watches or the Fifth, something like that.
Yes, by Greta.
Greta, right.
Yeah,
Greta,
and honestly, I had learned about it a long time ago from her. And I never really implemented it until like a year or two later after actually watching her content. And I remember that it stuck in my head that she had done this business model of keeping her store open only like 5 days a week. Yeah. And honestly, it's amazing. It's an amazing business model. Yeah.
So bro, how people can actually figure this out that, okay, which niche to get into? Like maybe they're beginners out there. How they're going to make sure that, or how they can actually increase their chances of, making it work if they have to do this drop model?
Okay. Well, number one, I would recommend almost everyone to get into clothing because it's most of the brands I know, most of the people on our Discord server, even in my own Discord server, I think other people I know that are doing e-commerce brands that are making a lot of money. Almost everyone is doing clothing. Okay. Now, if you want to go into other kind of e-commerce niches, yes, there's a lot of opportunities. I just feel it's more cost intensive. With clothing, you have the ability to test an item almost right away. You get a mock-up made, you can go post it on social media, and you can see what the response is. Okay, but the main thing is to find that niche. You have to go into something, like I said earlier on in this interview, where you can find a very passionate audience that they believe almost in their, I don't know how to say this, but almost like a religion. They believe what they believe in, right? So if you go to the Vikings, you can see how enthusiastic people are about the Vikings series, about the Vikings Netflix show, movies. They literally dress like Vikings. They will play role play. So they're a very passionate audience, So tomorrow I can go sell them anything. That's why I will be selling them t-shirts, because I already know that audience is very passionate, right? So from the watches, I can go to t-shirts. From t-shirts, I can go to something else, anything that's Viking related. So you need to find a community that you will constantly be able to create products for, that they will buy impulsively and based on emotion and passion.
So basically, these kind of products which are like passionate and you can drive emotions to them, right?
Correct. Well, you want to make sure that my recommendation is always work backwards. Don't start from the product. You want to start from the community, and then from the community, you build the product. That way you have the people there to basically buy the product from you. Now, if you start from the product, you're going the other way around. You're building a product, and then you're looking everywhere to where I can sell this product, right? Yeah. So if you go backwards, you already have the people that are ready to purchase from you.
I recently saw one of the ad. There's another guy who is recently popping up in the e-commerce space as a guru, and I saw he did the same thing. I guess he did it for some black community and for college, and he
Okay.
combined those two together, and he launched his clothing brand, and he did like over $1 million in just like maybe and he used the same strategy, basically
Really?
driving. Yeah. I don't remember the name, just Nip or whatever. I don't remember
I'm
the name
interested.
of
I want to
that.
see this. Was it on YouTube or where was it?
It's on Instagram, bro. I will definitely pass it on to you. He's currently launching his training, and he's again using the same strategy which he actually used for
Yeah.
selling the clothing. So he's creating all the anticipation,
Huh.
through a lot of reels, and he's asking everyone to comment below the reel, and he will send the free training. And then
Huh.
through free training, he is actually sending them to a workshop which is happening almost every Thursday. So
Okay.
whatever he has done in his clothing brand, he is now doing his for personal brand and just doing the same thing and showcasing
No.
the case study. Man, that's work. Actually, this anticipation strategy, because all the big brands, man, in the D2C space, they all use this strategy. Some form or like something different, but they use the same strategy.
I will show you another brand. These guys do millions, millions of dollars. So they have something
Represent the world.
represent clothing, right? So what they've done is they kind of do like a mixture of the same strategy, like the hype drop, right? So they have a
Uh-huh.
portion of their website that is evergreen. They're selling year round. But then they have something called the vault. You can see over here, the vault closes. So when you go over here, right now the vault is open. Otherwise, usually when you click on there, again, you go to they just capture your email and your phone number. And then they let you know when the vault is going to
And
open.
I can clearly see they're not selling a 1999 t-shirt. They're selling a t-shirt for $50. That's how you make money.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, look at this. These guys are making millions of dollars. You can see these designs. Anyone can go replicate these designs.
These are
But why?
streetwear, man. These are
It's just
streetwear
streetwear.
designs, which, yeah.
It's just true. But you need to ask yourself why are they making so much money, right? Why are they making so much money? It's because they're the way they angle themselves, the way they represent themselves, the way they do this anticipation and make themselves look more exclusive than they actually are. You know, even for my own personal like for my application, right? I'm doing the same model, same model. You can't even go to my password. It's just simply website. Everything I do now is anticipation based and just
Okay.
collecting
So
emails.
wait, what's the platform, bro, for your website? This one?
This is Shopify. Everything's Shopify.
And how you're locking it up? Is it like you're
So
using
yeah.
some landing
So what I
page?
do is you go to Shopify and you can just go to where's it at? You go to online store and you just say lock website or something. It's a basic Shopify function. But these designs, I actually have someone on Upwork. And she's actually in India.
Uh-huh.
She does all my password lock pages. She charges like $80 and she makes it look very nice and this and that. And
So
she connects.
basically, can we give her a shout out on this video?
Yeah, 100%. Her name is Sahin Lohia or something. Sahin
Sure,
Lohia.
man. Sure, man. Just let me know. We're
Yeah,
gonna give a shout out to her. Like we're gonna
yeah. And
empower
if
everyone who is
anybody
doing a good job.
exactly anybody needs password lock page, she's the one to go to. Really, she makes amazing password lock pages. And I'm sure after this video, after a year, we're gonna see everybody with the same format. But
Why?
it just
Why not?
it just
Yeah.
works really, really well. It works really well, you know. And I think like all my business models for DTC, I will be doing like this. Now, that's not to say I will probably have some portions of websites at Evergreen.
Uh-huh.
One thing I
Uh-huh.
do want to mention here is that I somewhat actually like the way Represent Clothing does it. You know why? Because that allows you to continuously sell on one half of your website and build
Yeah.
hype on another half. And this
Yeah.
makes it also easier if you're running ads or if you're doing other things. So it just depends. What phase are you at? If you're at a
Basically
phase where
hybrid, right?
yeah, I would prefer a hybrid. So you have a landing page where you're collecting emails and phone numbers, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
another landing, and the rest of the store is open. But for the newer people, for the people more on a budget, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have inventory or stock, do password lock. You can do a password lock page, you know.
Okay. Perfect. I think it makes sense, bro, because it's very hard to sell a $24 or $19 t-shirt and to make money. Nowadays,
Yeah.
if someone is using Facebook ads, like direct sending people to the product page, it's really hard to make that much amount of money because it's expensive. And they're also like, as we can see, they are not selling a $40 hoodie. They're selling a $105 hoodie or a
I
$80
know.
hoodie. And maybe their hoodies are, I'm not sure, maybe they are print on demand hoodies. I don't know, but their designs are unique for sure.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
designs are unique here, and that's the clothing niche relies a lot on your designer. If your designer is not good, if you're going to cut corners on your designer, you can forget about it.
So they maybe like they're spending a lot of money into designs and in their
Yeah.
designs, right?
They're spending a lot of money on designs, on market research, seeing what's trendy, all of these things. Now, if someone is a beginner and if they shouldn't be intimidated by this, just simply go to upwork.com, find a designer that's affordable, and explain to them the concept you want, and they should be able to do it for the most part.
Got it. Got it. So now we have Indigo, we have Represent, then we have your brand, which is doing this. Any other, man, anything else you have seen?
Man, there's tons. I've honestly, I forgot about some of them.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find anywhere else here. No, I don't have it on the top of my head, but I can tell you that a lot of people are doing it. Like almost every clothing brand. Yeah.
So you have done more than $1 million for sure, right? More than $1 million in 1 year, or it's like more than 1 year?
About a year and a half. Year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much you did in Q4?
Q4 this year was around, I think only $30,000 or $40,000. We didn't really do that much this year. The reason why is we've been kind of like scaling back a lot in our operations and trying to figure out because see, look, the reality is with the watches, it's a very high ticket item. Okay, you can make it work, but it's also very, very cash intensive. Yeah. Because the amount of time it takes from the design, the prototyping, even sending, like for example, a manufacturing order. No watch company, when you make a custom watch, no watch company will ever do, 1 piece, 2 pieces at a time. You have to purchase anywhere from usually most of the time 500 pieces, right? 300 to 500 pieces, and that in itself is almost $50,000. Yeah, $60,000 investment, including the prototype, which is about 2,000, 2,500. Like our watches are unique. We don't just use regular molds. The designer also is very important. So we made a few mistakes also on designs earlier on, and we hired a new designer now in New York. And that designer is cost us maybe, almost $12,000 for one watch design.
Oh my.
Yeah. So what we're doing now is we want to go into that luxury and higher class scale. But to do that now, we have to introduce, like I said, we have to introduce something new to our website, like an apparel line, to keep the consistent sales coming in. Because even our target audience, not many of them can actually afford really high ticket luxury watches. They were able to afford the $300 to $500 price range watches that we had. But just from a business perspective and a passion perspective, we're not that passionate about watches at that price range. Like I personally actually enjoy watches. So I want to make something that like, not only does my audience like, but I like, and unfortunately that's very expensive. So we're going to be basically, we're kind of redoing our business model a bit in terms of introducing new items.
Okay, bro, how many people? So let's suppose you get like 100 people in. How much is a decent conversion rate on those people from leads to basically purchases?
Are you talking about the watches generally?
Yeah, watches, or maybe let's talk about these hype, like the clothing brand. Let's suppose I get like 1,000 leads, 1,000 email leads. How much number should I like expect? What should be our ideal number?
Look, conversion. I've worked with like I would want to like I'm going to talk more on the perspective of a brand. Like I work with a jewelry brand, right? And I think that's going to be more relatable to your audience. The reason being is watches, again, it's a very complicated, difficult task. And I'm going to be very upfront about it. Most people that have watch brands, they have so much money on the back that they can afford what goes along with it. And even for us, it's more now become a hobby rather than a business model that we want to scale. That being said, When it comes to clothing and jewelry, I've seen, out of 1,000 leads, with the jewelry brand I work with, I would say from there, almost, 300 to 400 leads will convert, because it's a very like, it's a price range where people can afford it. Now with clothing brands, it's even higher sometimes. Sometimes even higher. I've seen people with like an email list of 3,000, 4,000 doing drops of, up to $40,000, $50,000.
Really?
Yes. In fact, since we're talking about clothing, I do know a manufacturer, and one of his clients is actually in Kanye West's design team. So he went off and he started his own clothing brand. Now, one important thing to note here is that he's obviously in the right target audience. He knows his people. People kind of know who he is. So when he made his email list, obviously his email list of 1,000 to 2,000 people converted really high. He did a recent drop and he sold 1,000 pieces in one drop. So the thing is that with the leads, I can't really put a number on it, because it really depends on, first of all, your brand image, how good you are doing in building your audience, how good you are doing in receiving your brand value to the audience. And that's more so going to dictate how many leads convert. Secondly, when you're collecting leads, I cannot say this more than ever. You have to make sure you are consistently sending emails to them at least once or twice a week. They need to know who you are. They need to know what your mission is, what your brand is about. Otherwise, when the drop comes, people might have forgot that they even entered their email. You see what I'm saying?
Got it. Amazing, man. This is cool, because I haven't seen, anyone personally who is doing this. So it's good to know. And because this Q4, I tried doing those email leads and tried to sell them, and it worked for me. Wasn't that great, but at least I made some money. I got my money back and obviously made some profits. But I think if someone can actually put in some efforts and just do it in the right ways, follow the strategy the right way, they can do it. And I see that you have a Discord server where you basically try to teach everything about how to do this. So let's talk about that. And we're going to give a shout, we're going to put the link and shout out to your Discord server so that people can actually join and learn how they can do this.
Yeah, so the Discord server is more I basically everything I preach, I try to do it as well. So for me, it's all about building communities. Anything I do, I want to build a community. For my Zycros, for Heimel's workshop, for any brand I do, I've already had that mindset that it's all about building community first. So in Discord, what we're doing is we're teaching people how to do the hype drop. We're teaching people how to build brands from scratch. Like you had mentioned earlier that you collected some emails and you were able to get some revenue out of them. But I can assure you, if you actually did that really aggressively and correctly, you would have been really pleased with your results in terms of the email leads. Because email leads, are you familiar with Alex Becker?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Becker is like one of the people I actually learned this from. He would draw like charts about, you get an email at this much, you convert them at this phase in the funnel. And I learned most of this stuff, honestly, from Alex Becker. And I'm just applying it to e-commerce.
So you were in his some kind of a coaching, or you learned?
No coaching, no courses, just from his free YouTube channel. I would just like watch his videos a lot, and he did it. He explained it really well. He would draw a diagram where you capture an email at like this cost, like $1, and then you said you put him through a flow and through an experience. Like $5. And once you figure that funnel out, it's
printing money.
You can print money and can infinitely scale.
I remember those videos, bro. I think I remember those videos. I think those videos are not like live anymore. He has actually hidden them now on his channel. But I totally get it. I remember watching those videos and I didn't take action, but you took the action and now you're actually printing money.
So that's what I've been teaching the Discord server. We make it a community. It's just a bunch of brand owners, a lot of serious people just helping each other out and learning this method of e-commerce, because e-commerce is not easy anymore. It's very difficult, but you can make it that much easier if you build a good community around it.
It's becoming more of a creative game than just a marketing game. So I remember in your Discord server, I met Puppring owner, the Puppring guy who has done like more than $1.8 million,
Yeah.
Alex. And when I was chatting with him, so we went on a call. So that's the benefit of your Discord server. So I basically
Yeah.
talked to him and I went on a call with him. He told me this, that man, this is more of a creative game now. So you have to like, work on your creatives. If you work on the
Yeah.
creative side, your business will do good. And
100%.
that's so true.
Yeah. I mean, even in the Discord server, we had another group of guys come to us for consulting, and they were doing
Mm-hmm.
$4.5 million per year. And, they're coming to me who I only did like, only a fraction of what they did, but
Yeah,
it's because, it is, like you said, it's a creative game. And if you're not checking your profits and you're getting big numbers, what's the point? What's the
that's
point?
true.
Like, I think their profit margin on that was very slim for all that work, for all those orders. They
I
were
would
walking away with
I would gladly do just $40,000 and make $20,000 in profit
100%.
than to do
100%.
$100,000 in sales and make $20,000 in profit.
Exactly. And for all those that are viewing this, like they should understand, like not to be fooled by just seeing big numbers on YouTube. It's all about how can you maximize your profits? How can you yourself make a stable, sustainable income for yourself and a long-term business? Not something that you're just gonna burn out real quick and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, this way you are actually creating a brand. It has assets. You can actually sell that.
Yeah.
It's so good stuff. I think let's talk about like, Greta. So Greta did the same thing over and over, and she has
Yeah.
made multiple seven-figure exits just because she knows, okay, how to prove a concept. And then once she proves that concept and she build up the brand, she just sell that out to obviously and just take another, maybe
Yeah.
create another brand. This is how she do it. So amazing, bro. I'm like so damn happy that, we are able to show this. Let's go back and show your numbers once again because this is how
Yeah.
it rolls. So let's go to Clavio. Maybe Clavio will have like more,
Yeah.
uh,
Let's
yeah, people will be able to understand, okay, how Clavio is. So
So
this is Clavio,
this is
the back
Clavio. You
end.
can
Yeah.
see that basically all this is the last year right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to also say something. This whole last year, which is from January 10 to now, we did not run any paid ads.
Amazing.
So you can see all this revenue right here is without any paid ads.
So basically $371,000. So bro, just an idea. What's gonna be the profits in this? People would love to.
Yeah, so
get
the
some
profit
idea.
in this, I would say, is almost 60% profit. 60%.
Amazing. 60%?
Yeah, 60%. Because first of all, it's a high ticket item.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a high ticket item. And this is something, if people do want to go into watches and stuff, the one benefit you have is if you do custom designs, you can mark it up 4, 5, 10 times.
So basically, I can make a watch for $100 and I can sell it for $500 or $700, something like that.
Correct. Yeah, correct. You can, if your materials are good, your movements are good. Most of the time on the manufacturing side, it won't only cost you like $200, $300 maximum, right? And you can sell that watch for $3,000 to $4,000. It's possible.
Amazing, man.
There's something so good. Just since we're on the topic, if you make a Swiss chronograph watch, Swiss automatic chronograph watch, it would cost you maybe $600 totally manufactured, but you can go and sell it for $5,000.
Oh man!
Yeah, so you think about it, you sell 2 watches.
So much margin you have now.
You have so much margin. You almost have $3,000 to $4,000 to spend on Facebook ads to get one sale. So
and I won't do that. I would just go ahead and buy leads for $3,000. I would have like so many damn leads, and maybe even if from all those leads 2 people actually buy this, I'm super duper profitable.
Exactly. And that's why watches, yes, you have a lot of potential to make money, but the only issue is that initial order, right? So if you're going to order the Swiss chronograph watch, you're going to have to place a 200 minimum order, which is what? 400, 500 times 200. What's the math? About 100,000 you'd have to put down for your inventory. So other than that, you have $100,000 of inventory, but if you have the budget, you can go spend up to $3,000, $2,000 every day on Facebook ads, collect hundreds and hundreds of leads every day. Now you have a big email list. You can, drop on them watches. You can do anything you want. So the watches is a very profitable market. It's just very cash intensive. But
Bro,
anyways,
do you think
yeah,
like sneakers or shoes or slip-ons can be sold for high price as well? Maybe because
yeah.
normal shoes or sneakers sells for maybe $50-$60. Can I sell it for $100 or maybe a little bit more? Do you think so?
I wouldn't take that risk right now. The reason being is just because of the economy, right? Now you have to be really strategic about how you're pricing your items.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you've really gotten a really good brand image, like Represent Clothing or something like that, that you've actually built up over time, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't just do that yet. I would do something that looks good, functions well, and is still
Mm-hmm.
affordable. Indigo Studios does sneakers as well. They do sneakers as well. But I believe it's only around I think there's about $60 to $80 for sneakers.
60 to 80. Okay, that's not bad as well.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. Okay, so where people can actually find you?
They can just find me in the Discord server if you link it below, or
Got it.
even I have my YouTube channel as well where I teach a lot of this stuff for free.
Yeah, you have amazing videos, bro. I know for sure because I saw you. Actually, I got you from the videos which actually start showing up on my home home feed, and I was like, man, this guy is getting like you got your growth very quickly, and I was like, man, this guy is sharing some good stuff. So that's how. And okay, so so to everyone who is actually watching this, and mostly Indians are watching this guy is an Indian. So it's like an Indian brother. So go ahead and, follow his channel and follow his Discord server. And, and if you want, we can actually bring him back because I'm thinking about putting this strategy for one of my, store. And if that works out great, then definitely, we're going to bring Omar back and we're going to have some,
Yeah,
party.
definitely. I want to see how the strategy works, and we'll be doing some apparel drops as well, and we can like reconvene and see how that went as well and show the viewers.
Perfect, bro. Thank you so much. We're going to
All
catch
right.
up again. Perfect.
All right.
Peace.